Greetings, everybody. I'm forwarding with another message for you, and I hope you will listen carefully and you'll understand what I'm saying. You don't hear what you want to hear, you hear the message that I'm conveying today. Now, before I begin, let me make a disclaimer. When it comes to domestic violence, I have zero tolerance for that. When it comes to men abusing women, I will never support that. Okay? So understand that I'm coming from that state of mind when I do this video. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to make it very clear that I don't trust my own people. And one of the reasons why I don't trust my own people, it doesn't mean that I trust other people in the world. I'm just saying that history have demonstrated one thing, and is that we've got no loyalty to each other. And one of the most frightening things that I feel or experience is to know that people will know you very well, and it doesn't take much for a stranger to come in and to assassinate your character. And the very people who know you, they are the ones to first jump on believing someone that they don't know. I talk about this all the time and I find it to be very scary. Now, this video is to address Sunrise Boss, but I'm sharing it on my channel and I'm sharing it as an example of what not to do when you're a black man. When you're an African man, I'm sorry to say, you're going to have to be extra cautious, extra careful. Now, I don't know the details because I hear one side of the story and I'm addressing it only because from the very beginning, I call it premonition. I had a strong sense that nothing good could come from this situation. Now, there's a guy in Jamaica, has a channel, Sunrise TV. He refers to himself as Sunrise Boss. I've been watching him for a while, and one of the reasons why I like his channel, he always shows nature. He always shows, his grounds where he lives. He shows the sunrise or the sunset, and it is very beautiful. So I gravitate to watching him, especially in the wintertime. And he's always cooking. His video never ends for the most part without him cooking. And I admire him because he's a young guy doing his best to escape poverty, and a very creative way of using his channel to, get business, to meet people. And for the most part, he has a very nice personality. Now, people go in and out. People online watch his videos, enjoy the scenery, and when they go, they stay with him and he takes them around. And, he provides a kind of bed and breakfast kind of setting. Now, I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just saying it has that feel. And because of his personality, women come to stay with him, older women, younger women, couples come to stay with him. It's really a beautiful thing. And you can watch him grow on his channel. His editing skills is up these days, and he's, improving, and you can see where he wants to expand this thing that he's doing. And I admire him for that. Now, this woman she says she's from Costa Rica, and she is his new guest. She came just before the pandemic hit. And as a result, she says she cannot go home because, no planes are flying out, whatever. But from the very beginning, I thought that Saski was trouble. Now, Saski, when you watch this video, I'm not trying to attack you as a female, but I'm trying to say from the very beginning, it was very obvious. And I'm not going to sit back here and let this young man get thrown under the bus. I don't know the details of what happened. And based on what Saski says, that he assaulted her, I'm not going to say it's a lie because I wasn't there. But what I'm going to say is I could see it leading up to this point. For one, individuals are here making it seem like they had a relationship. Perhaps, Sunrise Boss, you forgot that you're not supposed to mix business with pleasure. And so whatever occurred between you and this young woman, however, she was very willing and prepared to take it there. There evidence on his video that shows Saski trying to hug him, trying to bend over his shoulder. And it was very obvious that Sunrise Boss was uncomfortable there's a scenario where she's coming over him, she's so close to him as she's talking in his live, and he shrugged his shoulder to ease her off. There was another section, another scene in that, where when she tried to get close to him, he pretended to call his dog 45. So it's very clear that there were times when he was not interested to get involved with this female, especially when he would try to tell other females to come and visit and that they were welcome to come. She, on his life, on more than one occasion, have shaded him. For example, when he says he has all these people watching him, she would say stuff like, why are you talking on here for 2 hours talking bullshit? It was very obvious that this female came to his house with the intention of having more than just a guest relationship. She wanted more. And unfortunately, a lot of men are very weak. Not going to justify it, but I'm saying a lot of men are very weak. So if Sunrise TV believed that she was just another guest and she was going to come, maybe he mixed business with pleasure and the woman wants to make it more than that. Now, from the very beginning, when everyone was swarming Saski, in love with her because she is of a different race, it's very obvious, you see, because black men have a problem. When it comes to women of other race, they show this weakness. They're so enamored by women of other race. They always feel that these women are more beautiful or whatever the reason. I just don't care at this time. But in the beginning, when everybody was singing her glory, I could see it, I sensed it, I felt it. And usually I would feel something and not say it, but this time I was forced to say it. One of the questions I asked was, Saski, who sent you to destroy this guy's reputation? Even when everything was going well, it was very clear. Who sent you? And why do you seem like a person who's a nomad? Because it's obvious that she didn't live anywhere and that this is what she does. Well, of course, typical black men with their, in their hand, always thinking about the next space to put it in. Some of them came at me. I'm jealous of this girl. How can I be jealous of a female who says that I go on social media, saw somebody's live that I never saw before, and in 24 hours, I was booking my ticket to go and stay with him? Who does that? Okay? Now, if you're an adventurous person, you can do anything. But when I saw that, that was a red flag. And then when I heard her say that she couldn't leave the island and she didn't seem pressed, she seemed quite okay with the fact that they were going, even though she might be appearing to say that, she's concerned about not being able to go home. There was no urgency. Again, I think I reached out to Sunrise boss, to just say, be very careful. Other individuals have warned him too, and he is a person who likes to be respectful. So he would say, if you got nothing to say, don't say anything at all. Perhaps that was a time when they probably were mixing business with pleasure. Who knows? At the end of the day, though, I sense that Saski was going to look for an opportunity to stay in Jamaica. And if she couldn't stay at Sunrise TV, I knew from very early on that he was going to get in trouble with this female. Now she's come out and she says that he hit her, that, he pushed her out. And I'm not saying this is right, but I'm also saying, individuals, be fair. Because this is not a rich guy. And whatever has conspired between them, it's gone to the point where it's now toxic for them to be staying in that environment. It's time for her to leave. It's time for her to reach out to her government or reach out to the Jamaican government to ask for assistance so she can stay at a place where it's less hostile, according to what she's saying. Again, I don't want to say what she's saying is a lie, but I haven't heard from Sunrise TV yet. And I'm saying the signs were there that he wasn't really interested in more than that situation where you come and you go. And here is stuck there and their tension building. It was very obvious. Now, the problem that I'm having right now is to say, when I look at the comment section and I see other black people, men in particular, and some of these women, I'm telling the truth, Women who are abused, who have gone through domestic violence, a lot of these women don't get attention. I guarantee you, if there was a black female in that place, and don't make it about race. It is about race. It's always about race. It's always about the African not understand the meaning of solidarity and respecting each other. Now, if he's done something wrong, by all means, talk to him. But you can't judge somebody. You can't be willing to condemn someone until you hear his side of the story. If he has erred and if he has done something that we can say that's not right, you shouldn't have done that. You can't judge someone until they speak, especially when the signs were clear. There are a lot of females in the world, and I'm not going to apologize for saying this. They understand that as a woman, you have all kinds of support. You have all kinds of person ready to defend you. And all you've got to do is come out and say, a man did the R to me or a man hit me. And, while you should get that support, there are women who will use these excuses against men or accusation against men who are innocent. There are a lot of innocent black men in the world. And a lot of time black men don't love us as black women because we throw them under the bus often too soon. We don't give them the benefit of the doubt. It's not right. In every culture, the women support their men. In every culture, especially those who are powerful, you will never catch those women throwing their men under the bus. They deal with it individually. They don't categorize a whole group of white men or Chinese men or Indian men. You will never see their women coming out and brandishing them with this big paintbrush and saying that they're all this or they're all that. It's an individual thing and we need to do it. And I think some of these women in Jamaica are real troublemakers. They're hateful. Some of the men are bad mind. They look at this young guy and they see that he's really doing well for himself. They're coming to him saying that they're fans. And let me tell you something. If you're a YouTuber, if you're someone who does, internet or YouTube videos, I'm going to warn you. See, these people, a lot of them who call themselves fans, they don't like you. They like to be associated to people who are doing well. That's why they don't like watching small channels, because they're not interested in what you got to say. They love the hype. They love to be associated to your fame. And so a lot of them come with the intention to destroy you. They don't want to see you do well. They just come, they want a front row seat to see when you're falling. So it's not everybody who says I'm a fan. Give them a minute or two, make a mistake, and you will find out if they're fans. They're not. And so a lot of these individuals who already didn't like this young guy are glad to hear the story with this young woman. What I'm saying, Sunrise TV, you're staying silent on it. And this is not something to be silent about. You need to come out and you need to address these accusations. If what she's saying is true, you still need to come and address it. And I would give you the advice to go to the police station and to go and report this situation that is happening, because it's going to get bad for you if you don't. Because you're looking at a woman, and a woman says that you assaulted her in this time and day and season. You better make sure you rectify that situation. Now, for all those individuals who are saying all kinds of stuff about this young man, I suggest that you make a GoFundMe and you send the money to her so she can find a place to rent or somewhere to go until this is over. Because a lot of you are just talking. A lot of you are just talking BS. You never would have done what the young guy did. You wouldn't have handled it so professionally the way he has thus far, feeding her, giving her shelter when she's not providing him any money. For the most part, from my observation, it's very obvious that she ran out of money very early on. Now, you're a hypocrite if you want to make it seem like you're just taking some random stranger off the street that you don't really know and provide them with support and just be very happy about it. Whatever tension is rising there has a lot to do with the fact that she's staying somewhere and you never intended for her to stay there that long. And the truth is, Saski, you're not exactly a very honest person. Because right now, as I said it in my video, and I'm going to repeat it here, you are an unstable person. And it's very obvious that you've been going from place to place to place. There's allegations that you have a child that you have not seen for 2 years. Allegations that you're married and, you have left your marriage. I don't know if these things are true, and it doesn't really matter. The point is, you're in Jamaica, and very, very early on, you were dropping shades, saying things to him. You are very jealous of the fact that he's doing very well on his social media platform. He set up a YouTube channel for you. And as soon as you started your channel, you started dropping shades on this individual. What you choose to do when you're in Jamaica is your business. And if what you're saying is true, that he assaulted you because you went to go see some other person, again, Sunrise TV, this is her words against yours. You got to come out and clear the air. Now, you don't have to, but it would be best you give your side of the story, because at the end of the day, people, especially women who are sometimes going through domestic violence, when they see this, they don't have no strength for the man that's abusing them, but they will send you to the cleaners. So I suggest you come out and you speak on this matter, or if you're not going to do it public, go to the police officers and report this thing before it gets very ugly for you. It's time for the young lady to move along. And if folks want to give her money to help her while she's there, I have no issues with that. But I'm not going to sit back here and make it seem like this guy who intended to help her and who's done so well for her up to this moment is just this wretched person. You always forget people and the good that they do and use the one mistake they make or other things that, is questionable to all of a sudden make them into a monster. You cannot judge somebody until you hear the two persons side of the story, until you yourself can pick sense from nonsense. So his channel is called Sunrise TV, and I think her is Saski, Saskimm. These two individuals that I'm addressing in my video, you can go check them out. But I hope things get cleared up, and I hope at the end that it doesn't affect him permanently. I knew it was too good to be true, and I also knew that something was up. Now, I'm going to say this to you before I go, Jason. Jason, whatever you're doing right now, there is obviously someone who wants to put an end to it. And by her being there, that is the reason why, if you don't go straight and make this into a business and register this with the right people, you are going to find yourself not even being able to accommodate a friend. I'm sorry. Wish I didn't have to say. I knew this was going to happen. Linda, you're my witness. From the very early on, when everybody was singing her praise and everybody was so happy and trying to marry them off, all of a sudden these individuals are not trying. A lot of them are not trying to hear his side of the story. And I find that to be very unfortunate. What is happening now in this period that we're going through, it's an indication of how our people refuse to bond together, refuse to listen to warnings. There are a lot of individuals, because they have a lot of subscribers and they have a lot of people, singing their praise. They don't listen to advice. You go into them, take them aside and warn them, and they're so arrogant, they will not listen. And then when they fail to stand up to individuals who come at them, the people who they were being warned about, then they come crying to the rest of the world to feel sorry for them. No matter who you are, rich or smart or whatever it is, you must listen to advice. Everybody's not your enemy. And when someone tells you something, you must listen. Doesn't mean that you have to believe everything people say, but you should take a note. It doesn't matter what anyone tells me on my YouTube channel. Even if I agree or disagree, I take note of everything everyone says. So folks, I'm very sorry to say, we are going to be lined up and inoculated, because it doesn't matter how much time you warn people and tell them whatever, they will not listen. And at the end of the day, this is how individuals have always worked. They've always worked because they know they can depend on most of us to help them carry out their agenda. So again, I'm going to say this before I finish this video. I don't know this young lady, but I know that something wasn't right. I see the way she was trying to attach herself to this young man. I see how she was showing signs of jealousy when he would be trying to tell other folks to come on over like he always did. That's how she ended up there, because he said, come on over. But when she got there, she wanted to make it into something that it's not. And when this police officers in Jamaica hear the situation, I want them to treat Jason like a human being, like a Jamaican, and listen to his side of the story. Because while some of what she's saying might be true, I'm not there. I don't know if it's true or not. But even if it's true, there's always two sides to a story. Listen, Saski have no intention of leaving Jamaica anytime soon. And it's very obvious that this young lady, she knows how to live and she knows how to get people to side with her until it's time to move along. All the best to you, Saski. But at the end of the day, remember, do not tell lies on anyone. Tell the truth about what happened and move along. And it's very unfortunate that the relationship you seem to have been having with Jason is turning out to be something that I knew was going to happen. It's too bad that you didn't, allow me to say I was wrong. Get to safety, go where you're comfortable, and find your way back to where you come from and figure out your life. I don't care about your adventure, popping here in and there as a female. You're putting yourself in harm's way. Take responsibility for your own action. And Jason, if you're going to do this, be professional about it. You can't be getting involved with persons that you're entertaining in your household. You're a black man. You're a black man and you can't afford to put yourself in a position where you can't explain your actions, where you can't prove your innocence. Stay blessed, everybody.